Hey YouTube, my name is Marita and welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. And in this series, we're going to continue my series of my narcissistic marriage and my road to recovery. And on this edition, we're going to talk about his secrets. If you want to know what his secrets were and how that impacted our lives, stay tuned. All right, we're going to jump right on in. As you all know, if you're new to this series of mine, my name is Dr. Marita P. I'm a registered nurse. But I'm not talking about nursing in these videos. This is my way of helping others, or help me help others, or others helping me by you joining me on my road to recovery. And what I'm doing is I'm talking about various issues within my marriage that I realized that the narcissist was doing to purposely tear me and our family down. So today we're going to talk about his secrets. And narcissists tend to keep a lot of secrets. You will find out that they actually have secret lives that you know nothing about until it comes out somehow, some way. So when it comes to my narcissistic husband, if you're new, this is the first video for this series that you have watched. I've been married for 12 years, or going on 12 years, but we've been together for going on 17 years. And I am in the process of going to seek in getting a divorce here soon. But until that time happens and until I start counseling, I am utilizing this platform to inform others about what I have endured behind the scenes while I was going to school, taking care of kids and things like that. So it may help someone else who may say, my boyfriend or husband, or I know someone who acts just like that. I never could put my finger on really what it was. And this would be a way for you to say, maybe they can check some of those boxes. So I want to first give a disclaimer by saying I am not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a medical doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist, or anything like that. I am a registered nurse who happens to be in a marriage dealing with a narcissistic husband, and we are now in the process of trying to dissolve that marriage. But I want to be able to come share with you my stories, my issues, my things that are going on to help me heal, number one. And number two, if you're going through something similar, then you can say, hey, there's a red flag there with that. All right, so he has not been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. That has to be done by a licensed professional. I'm not a licensed professional when it comes to that mental health disorder. I am a registered nurse and I'm licensed to be such. However, I have been watching enough videos from the people here on YouTube, great resources here on YouTube, to know that he checks off on pretty much every last one of those criteria to be diagnosed as a narcissistic personality, or being diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. But since we can't use that formal diagnosis, he definitely has a lot of the traits that are required to diagnose someone. Now, I will say this, when it comes to narcissism, we all have narcissistic traits. We all have these moments when it's just about us and we're selfish, and teenagers have that grandiose effect. That's very normal to have. However, when you lack empathy and when you do things detrimentally to hurt others on purpose, then you may be moving over to the realm of narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder. And if you know someone like this, a lot of these things that I'm going to say will ring true to your loved one or the person who you think may be having this disorder. It could be a boss, it could be a relative, it could be someone that you're intimately involved with. Now, the lies that he would tell, or not lies, well, he would tell lies too, but they tend to keep secrets. When I tell you he kept secrets, he would do things that I would know nothing about. It would come to a point in time where one time I start realizing that he had the ability to purchase large items such as new cell phones. And he had, at one point in time, he had 4 cell phones. And I'm kind of like, there's no money coming out of the account. So where is this coming from where you have 4 cell phones? Oh, someone gave it to me. Now, who gonna give somebody a brand new Samsung or a new Galaxy or a new iPhone? Something, they have secrets. He had a bank account that I didn't even know anything about. And I'll start noticing that as the pay periods will go on, that his checks will get smaller and smaller and smaller, but he claims to be working the same amount of hours. And there would be times where he was just blatantly lying. He wasn't at work. But there were other times where that money was going to another account. And he was spending money on everything else, but he was not helping taking care of the kids and making sure they had something to eat and things like that. Now, just so you know, we don't qualify for any public assistance or anything like that, any help with food stamps or things like that. We never qualify for those things. So we had to work for everything for us to be able to eat. Well, with this whole COVID situation, luckily the school system had decided that they would give food for breakfast and lunch for the families who lived in the county that I live in. And I took advantage of that program because for whatever reason, we didn't have enough money coming in to pay for food, but yet he's working. It just didn't add up. So he had bank accounts that were not even, he had went and got those like what prepaid cards or something like that you get. And he had diverted money from his check where you say, okay, take like $100 out my check and put it over here. He had did all that. Now, mind you, I realized at that point in time, if he has the ability to do all that, then he has the ability to do more than what he's doing in the house in terms of working, finding better jobs, because he was smart enough to go to his job and divert the money. And I'm kind of like, okay, but yet you don't want to make sure your kids have any food to eat. You don't want to make sure that your kids have shelter, that they have lights on. He cared less about any of that. He could care less. If our lights were cut off, they were like, oh, the lights is off, and he would come tell me the lights is off. I will take some of that money that you went and diverted and put it towards the light bill. He would never do that. He had secret accounts. He had friends I never knew anything about. New friends that would come up out the woodwork. He was one of those who not only he kept secrets. We had put on our phones. I have adult daughters now, and when they were all here, we had that little app or whatever you could find somebody. I don't know what it's called, but basically where you could find where you would see on your phone where somebody was. You know, like I don't remember what the app was, but anyway, he had turned his off. And so therefore we could never find him because he didn't want to be found. So it was a secret again where he was even at. He would always wait till I go to bed and think I was sleeping and things like that and get up and go to, and claim, oh, I'm at Taco Bell or I'm at here getting me a drink or whatever. But then he accidentally sent his location one time and he wasn't where he said he was. Again, secrets. He had went and found another job, started working another job part-time and was taking that money. So again, he was working, but we wasn't seeing any of the money because he was secretly stashing it somewhere or knowing him spending it on these phones, spending it on new earrings, spending it on new gadgets. It'd be things that he would spend the money on. I'm kind of like, okay, we need the money to eat. We need the lights to stay on. And he would not do those things. He kept so many secrets, which means he was also telling lies in order to keep these secrets. So that's another thing he did. He lied all the time. And when I tell you he lied so much. And I referenced this in another video, that if he told you the sky was blue, you better go out there and check it yourself because he probably lying. Okay, it's probably gray. It's probably about to rain because he lies so much about everything. And when I say he lied, he will lie blatantly to your face about any and everything. And the thing is, the kids would catch him in lies. And that was the sad part because he would lie and the boys would be like, that's not how it happened. And then, he would try to shush them up. Or if I wasn't around, they would tell me things when he was not around of like what really happened. I'm like, okay, where was y'all at? Y'all was supposed to have been home hours ago. He would have told me, oh, well, we got caught in traffic. He was like, oh, we was at such and such's house. We was at somebody else's house. So he's even encouraging the kids to lie and tell stories and things like that. And I'm beginning to see, I won't say I'm beginning to see, I'm nipping it at this point because children lie anyway. But I think my oldest one is beginning to have some of these same tendencies in terms of, trying to keep secrets. Matter of fact, here's another secret that he didn't tell, but his father told. So one day I walked into the boys' room and they had in their, I think they had it was birthday money from their grandpa. And birthday money is not a problem, But I'm like, why? Where did y'all get this money from? Oh, well, he gave it to us and he told us not to tell you. Now, why would you tell kids not to tell their mother they got money? Why would you tell that? So again, the whole family is about secrets and lies and things like that. If anything, they should have told me that, hey, the kids got some money. I gave them some birthday money, because it's not a big deal. I wasn't going to take it. You know, they would have, you know, they spent their money what they want to spend it on. But the point is, nothing but lies. That family, that they tell secret or to keep secrets, and there's nothing but lies. And I'm telling you, you cannot believe anything he says. And then he gets mad when you want proof. I'm like, well, prove it. Prove it. So he would have to bring home his clock in and clock out hours type of thing, because that's the only way I know if his check would add up type of thing. That's the only way I would know. So he would start doing that for a while, but then of course he would fall back when he knew he wasn't doing something he was supposed to do. So like I said, he lied about everything. I mean, he would sit there and take money out the bank and claim it went to his father, and his father's still asking us for money for whatever he owed. So I don't know what he did with the money. That, you know, maybe it was to like maybe he cut his father cuts our grass as an example, so maybe he took money out the bank to pay him to cut the grass. And I'm thinking, no, he paid him. And then his father would come say, I still haven't received my payment. So I'm like, well, what did you do with the money that you supposed to be paying? And he would come up with some type of lie. Oh, I thought I gave it to him. I don't know where it's at. But then the conversation never comes back up again. He don't know what happened to the money all of a sudden. And that would be the same lie he would tell when it comes to money anyway. He would not know what happened to the money, hoping you forget about it. And then, oh, I'm going to put the money back. I'm going to put the money back. But then he can't put the money back for another pay period, which we needed the money by then. So this video is kind of short and sweet. I just wanted to kind of talk about narcissists lie and have secrets all the time. They tell lies. You can believe in anything they say. You'll catch them in a lie, and they will still deny it. You can show them video footage of them doing whatever they're lying about, and they will still deny it. They lie. It's like they can't help it. The lies are they just roll off their tongue. They cannot help it. There is no conscience when they tell these lies. They cannot help it. You can have proof, and they will still deny it. And if they do, I won't say they ever admit it, but it was your fault as to why it happened that way. It was your fault. It's always your fault. So just know these people don't do anything but lie about everything. And they burn bridges wherever they go because of their secrets and because of their lies. They burn bridges everywhere. They cannot keep friends. They cannot keep, like good friends. Now, mind you, they have the flying monkeys, which these are the people who surround them, who kind of participate or protect them, if you will. They're the ones who may, you know, for instance, we're not together anymore because we're not in the same place, but they may come and say hi to me just to go back and tell him what I'm doing. Or they may look on my social media to see what I'm doing to go back and tell him, to report to him. That's kind of what flying monkeys do. And so he kind of has that kind of thing going on, where, you know, like I've blocked everybody from that family except for one person. And now I don't have any issues with that one person, but because I know they're tied to that family, I may have to go block them too, because I could see that somebody coming to that person saying, hey, well, what is she doing? And, oh, well, she just graduated from, you know, from her DMP program. And I feel like I need to go ahead and kind of nip that as well. So this video is again about him lying and him having his secrets, and the secrets and lies, as you know, go hand in hand. And they also go hand in hand with cheating and things like that, which he's also done, and which I've already did a video on that. But that sums up him to a T. He lies, he cheats, he steals, he has secrets. And again, these kind of people will never recover from this type of situation because they never feel like they're the problem. They feel like you're the problem, and they play the victim to anything. So thank you for watching this video. This one is a little bit more shorter than some of the other ones. I will have some shorter ones, some longer ones, depending on what the topic happens to be. But that sums that up pretty good. He's been lying the entire apparently 17 years. So I am not tearful. You know, I want you to know that even though you all say, I'm so sorry you're going through this or whatever, I am healing, okay? I am doing very, very well. I'm not tearful. Those years are over with. I was tearful during when I couldn't figure out what was wrong. But once I figured out what was wrong and what I needed to do about it, I began to heal at that point. I had started saying, okay, this is what I need to do to focus on me, to get better for me, to get my life together for my kids. And right now, my house is peaceful because why? It's just me and my kids. There's no arguing. There was so much negative energy here in this house, so much negative energy here that you could feel it. You could cut it with a knife. It was so much negative energy. My kids were acting a fool because of the negative energy and because of his antics. And since he's been gone, I really don't have many problems for my boys. I don't feel that negative energy. I've been cleaning the space here. So I'm truly at peace. I'm just sharing, I'm just taking this time now to share with you how I'm doing, what I endured, and for you to notice any red flags in your relationships with either, you know, co-workers, your boss, your family, or someone who you are intimately involved with, significant other, so that you can make some appropriate decisions for yourself. I'm not one to say that you need to end your marriage. That's what you need to do. That's something that you have to do when you're ready to do it. I'm not saying you need to break up with a person. Again, that's something you need to do when you're ready to do it. But this is a form of domestic violence because they actually cause this is mental abuse, in my case, financial abuse and emotional abuse. And even though they're not hurting you, like in terms of, well, they are hurting you. They're not hitting you. So they don't see any bruises, but it's up here. They're bruising this up here. And you don't need people to bruise this up here. You need to have your mental facilities still intact. You have to be here for your children. You have to be here for your livelihood. These people will tear you completely down, and that is their objective. Just know that. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. This is my journey or my road to recovery. Let's chat in the comments. I love engaging with you all when it comes to whatever, when it comes to this topic or nursing or anything else. Let's definitely chat in the comments, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.